Welcome back, folks. It is a fantastic Friday. I'm Josephine Sage. Let's jump right into the forecast. Right now, as we take a look at these weather headlines, we're going to notice we've got southern moisture flow still moving on in from that Gulf area to cause elevated precipitation values way above what we're typically used to for this time of year. So that means we're going to expect some showers through the weekend and into the early work week, especially in those higher elevation regions. Those higher elevation areas are at risk for more severe storms, more rain accumulation, and that chance for flash flooding as we get into Saturday, as we get into Sunday, and even into Monday. We'll notice this is that high and low that's fighting, bringing in all that cloud coverage, all that moisture, and those single cell storms, and even those multi-cell storms throughout this weekend. We'll notice a little bit further out that high pressure ridge is starting to amplify over the plains, as it has been for the last couple of days, pushing over into that Great Lakes region, leaving us with, again, that southern flow. I keep mentioning it, and it's headed our way. So that storm potential tonight, we're going to notice elevated risk along that border of Nevada and Utah, but we still have that chance for some residual to move on over, as well as that chance for some strong storms with gusty winds possible kind of dwindling on over that way. We could be getting up to 25 and maybe even 30-mile-an-hour winds this evening. So as we take a look at where that moisture is coming from, I've chatted about this a couple days earlier, but we're going to notice a lot of that moisture is headed through the east coast. But as this part moves through the Gulf, it's moving right through Mexico, right through that panhandle area, and to us here on the western slope. Our pollen forecast still hasn't shifted. No tree pollen, no grass pollen, but some elevated weed pollen in an excessive amount, and some moderate mold pollen in terms of those irritations hanging on out. And those highs from earlier today, feeling 93 in Grand Junction, same in Delta, 88 in Montrose, feeling 93 in Moab as well. Now, these temperatures are actually soon to drop in the next 24 to 48, even 72 hours. But as we take a look at our almanac, earlier today, we were just a few degrees above what we're typically used to on both the high end and the low end of things, but that's not going to last for long. We're going to drop down into those upper 80s and even those mid 80s throughout the weekend. Tomorrow, that monsoon potential is still here with the best chance for some heavy rain and some flooding possible, again, through that Salt Lake City area, through that Nevada, through that Utah and even Idaho border area. But the residual of that is headed our way, especially throughout those northern mountains. And speaking of tomorrow, 89 degrees is what we're dropping to in Grand Junction, 84 in Montrose. And I still have Milo hanging out with me for the dog walking forecast. Please feel free to send me a photo of your pup for the dog walking forecast next week. But we're going to notice that peak temperatures happening just around 2 to 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now, speaking of Sunday, I said storms are expected throughout the weekend. That moisture associated with this upper level low off the coast still has that chance to bring us still some of those residual showers, especially with some unsettling in that upper atmosphere for those higher elevation regions. Now, keep in mind, those higher elevation regions have that chance for flash flooding. So are you in a floodplain? Check your insurance for coverage of flooding. Clear the storm drains of any loose debris and charge your electronic devices if need be. And mind you, if you're traveling for Labor Day, turn around, don't drown if that rainfall is very heavy along that Colorado River area. And keep in mind, we are still in a drought, so follow these wildfire safety tips, especially if you are in one of those areas where there's not that much of a chance for that rainfall. We're going to notice throughout the weekend, we're looking at 20% chance for rain, at least until the early work week. Montrose, maybe a little bit more of a chance, but still hanging out with those cooler temperatures for the long run.